In the year 2387, the Galactic Council reconvened, its ornate chamber buzzing with the weight of impending decisions that could reshape the balance of power among the star systems. The Council, an intricate tapestry woven from representatives of myriad species, had long regarded humanity with a blend of skepticism and condescension. To them, humans were the newcomers on the galactic stage, erratic and emotional beings prone to conflict and impulsive decision-making. Ambassador Verks of the Nashian Confederacy, his iridescent skin shimmering under the chamber's luminous lights, voiced the prevailing sentiment with an air of superiority. Humans are afraid of war, he declared, his tone dripping with disdain. They may speak of bravery, but deep down, they know that it leads only to ruin. The other members murmured in agreement, their expressions reflecting a cocktail of apprehension and condescension. As the representatives surveyed the vast circular table, tension filled the air, heavy and palpable. They were all too aware of the chaotic history that had shaped the human race, a relentless cycle of violence interspersed with fleeting moments of peace and resolution. To the Council, humanity's history was a chaotic tapestry, woven with the threads of conflict that seemed to echo through the ages. Yet, as they deliberated, the reality of humanity was far more intricate than the simplistic narrative they had constructed. Beneath the scars of countless wars lay a remarkable resilience and an unwavering desire to protect their home. Few within the Council recognized this burgeoning strength, concealed beneath the veneer of fear and misunderstanding. Meanwhile, on a tranquil evening in a bustling human city, Commander Lila Vasquez stood atop the observation deck of the United Earth Defense Force headquarters, her gaze fixed on the stars that glittered like diamonds against the inky blackness of space. She contemplated the uncertain future of her species. Just weeks earlier, a fleet of alien ships had entered the solar system, heralding a new era of diplomacy. However, the whispers of potential invasion loomed large, casting a shadow over the prospect of peaceful negotiations. Lila knew that the humans had to demonstrate their readiness. They could not afford to appear weak in the eyes of their alien counterparts. In a distant corner of the galaxy, an ancient species known as the Velar was preparing for war. They had long held dominion over the outer sectors, and the Galactic Council's inaction in the face of the Velar's aggressive expansion was increasingly alarming. The Velar regarded the humans as weak, seeing them as ripe for conquest, and their arrogance was a dangerous factor that could spark a conflict of catastrophic proportions. Yet Commander Lila Vasquez knew better than to underestimate the strength of humanity. As she trained her troops, she reflected on the rich history of her species, not just the wars fought, but also the unity that had emerged from those turbulent times. In the face of adversity, humans had consistently come together, displaying an indomitable spirit that transcended their differences. Back in the council chambers, the debates raged on with fervor. Some members argued passionately for a preemptive strike against the Velar, believing that a show of strength would deter further incursions. Others advocated for continued negotiations, confident that the human delegation would inevitably fail, thus leading to a more advantageous position for the council. The assembly remained divided, voices rising in heated discussions, while time ticked away like an ominous clock, counting down to an uncertain future. Meanwhile, Commander Lila convened her best strategists, fully aware that the Velar would likely strike first, probing the waters to gauge humanity's resolve. "We need to show them that we're not afraid," she declared, her voice steady and resolute, cutting through the anxious atmosphere of the war room. "If they perceive any sign of weakness, they will interpret it as an invitation to attack." Lila understood that showing restraint in the face of aggression was crucial, but they could not afford to appear passive or unprepared. As the days passed, tensions between the two factions escalated dramatically. The Velar initiated small incursions into human-controlled space, launching probing missions designed to test humanity's defenses. Each incursion was met with measured restraint, a deliberate show of discipline that reinforced their intent to avoid unnecessary conflict. Yet Commander Lila Vasquez was anything but passive. She devised a plan that would demonstrate humanity's resolve without sparking a full-blown war. In a bold move that showcased the depth of human ingenuity and courage, Lila organized a display of military might that would reverberate throughout the galaxy. Ships from across the United Earth Defense Forces gathered in a meticulously orchestrated show of strength, their hulls gleaming in the light of distant stars. The fleet consisted of a diverse array of vessels, each representing the different factions and colonies of humanity. The ships, adorned with the emblem of Earth, stood ready to demonstrate their capability and resolve. Lila knew that this display was essential to send a message, not just to the Velar but to the entire Galactic Council. Humanity would not be cowed into submission. they were ready to defend their home and assert their place among the stars. As the day of the demonstration approached, Lila felt a mixture of excitement and apprehension. The preparations had been intense and the pressure was immense. They were not only representing humanity but also contesting the misconceptions that had long plagued their interactions with other species. This was an opportunity to redefine their narrative, to show that they were more than just a chaotic, emotional race. They were a species capable of resilience, unity, and strength, able to face adversity with courage and ingenuity. On the day of the demonstration, the atmosphere buzzed with anticipation. As the fleet assembled in formation, the commanders and crew members took their positions, each one understanding the significance of the moment. Lila stood at the helm of her flagship, her heart pounding with a mixture of pride and determination. As the signal to commence the display was given, the ships lit up the cosmos, unleashing a dazzling array of lights and maneuvers that showcased their advanced technology and coordination. The spectacle was breathtaking, a breathtaking testament to human ingenuity and determination. The Velar, observing from a distance, were taken aback by the display. Their initial confidence began to waver as they realized that humanity was far more capable than they had anticipated. The carefully orchestrated demonstration sent shockwaves through the Galactic Council, sparking new debates and discussions. The representatives who had once dismissed humanity began to reassess their opinions. Perhaps they had underestimated the newcomers after all. As the demonstration concluded, Lila felt a surge of hope. The show of strength had not only rallied her troops but had also begun to shift the perception of humanity among the Council. They were no longer viewed solely as erratic beings but as a legitimate force that could stand alongside the galaxy's most powerful races. This shift in perception was crucial. It was a step towards forging alliances and ensuring that humanity's voice would be heard in the ongoing discourse of interstellar relations. Days turned into weeks as the tensions between the Velar and humanity simmered beneath the surface. Despite the successful demonstration, Lila knew that the threat from the Velar was far from neutralized. The Velar continued their aggressive posturing, and skirmishes erupted along the edges of human space. But the tide had begun to turn. Armed with their newfound confidence, humanity responded with calculated strategies, reinforcing their borders while simultaneously seeking diplomatic solutions. The Galactic Council, now recognizing the resilience and potential of humanity, convened again to address the escalating situation. This time, however, the atmosphere was different. There was a palpable sense of urgency, mixed with a newfound respect for the human delegation. Discussions unfolded, with various species considering the ramifications of an outright war against a species that had demonstrated such resolve and capability. As Lila continued to train her troops and strategize for potential conflicts, she felt a growing sense of camaraderie among her fellow commanders. They shared stories, experiences, and strategies, reinforcing the bonds that united humanity. In the midst of chaos, they had found strength in each other. The commander understood that this sense of unity was vital, not just for the war efforts but for shaping humanity's identity in the galaxy. As the weeks progressed, negotiations began to take shape within the Galactic Council. Various factions started to approach humanity, seeking to forge alliances against the Velar threat. Lila participated in these discussions, representing not only her species but also the indomitable spirit of all humankind. The representatives listened intently, their expressions reflecting a mixture of curiosity and caution. Humanity was emerging as a key player in the galaxy, and the potential for collaboration opened new avenues for peace and understanding. Ultimately, the tension between the Velar and humanity culminated in a confrontation that would test the mettle of both species. Armed with their newfound confidence, humanity stood ready to defend their territory while exploring every avenue for diplomatic resolution. As Lila Vasquez took her place at the helm of the United Earth Defense Force, she realized that the struggles they faced were more than just battles for survival. They were about forging a legacy, defining their place in a galaxy that had once viewed them as mere interlopers. In that moment of clarity, Lila understood that humanity was not just fighting for their survival but also for their identity. The scars of their past would not define them, rather they would shape their future. Together they would rise, standing as a beacon of hope against the darkness that threatened to engulf them. And as they prepared for the challenges ahead, they would do so united, with the unwavering spirit that defined the essence of humanity. As the confrontation with the Velar loomed ever closer, Lila Vasquez mobilized her forces with a sense of purpose and urgency. She understood that this was not merely a test of military might, it was a pivotal moment in humanity's history. In every strategy session and briefing, she emphasized the importance of cohesion among her troops. They were not just soldiers, they were representatives of a species that had fought tooth and nail for survival against overwhelming odds. With every skirmish and every loss, humanity had learned, adapted, and evolved. As she addressed her command, she reminded them of their collective strength and the indomitable spirit that had carried them through centuries of conflict. "We are not alone in this fight," she declared, her voice steady and resolute. "We are the culmination of every battle fought, every sacrifice made. This is our moment to show the galaxy who we truly are." The day of reckoning arrived, and the vast expanse of space became the backdrop for a showdown that would echo through the annals of history. Lila's fleet, now a well-coordinated armada, moved with purpose, their formations reflecting years of training and preparation. The Velar, confident in their numerical superiority, prepared to strike, believing that humanity would fold under pressure. However, Lila had studied their patterns, their tactics, and she was ready. As the fleets approached each other in the vastness of space, the atmosphere on the command deck was electric with anticipation. The moment was fraught with tension, but Lila remained focused, her mind sharp. The culmination of months of strategy and planning had brought them to this critical point, and she was determined to lead her people into battle not just as warriors but as a force to be reckoned with. As the first shots rang out, the battle erupted into chaos, a dazzling display of light and sound as the two forces clashed. Humanity's ships engaged with precision and determination, their weaponry unleashed in a symphony of destruction that highlighted their ingenuity and resolve. Lila navigated through the maelstrom, coordinating maneuvers and issuing commands with a calm that belied the turmoil around her. In the face of overwhelming odds, the human fleet demonstrated not only tactical brilliance but also an unyielding spirit. Each ship fought not just for survival but for the legacy of humanity, a legacy that would define their place in the galaxy. As the dust of battle settled and the first phase of conflict unfolded, it became clear that humanity was ready to stand their ground, united against an adversary that had underestimated them at every turn. Earth's territories assembled in a formation that was both strategic and symbolic, a carefully orchestrated display of power meant to convey a clear message to the galaxy. Humanity was prepared to defend itself, yet it would always prioritize diplomacy over destruction. This pivotal moment was not merely about positioning ships. It was about the assertion of identity and purpose in a galaxy that had long dismissed humans as insignificant players on the cosmic stage. Lila Vasquez, commanding the United Earth Defense Force, recognized that this display was essential, not just for their survival but for the recognition of humanity's place among the stars. They were here not just to intimidate the Velar but to forge a path toward understanding, to show that they were willing to fight if necessary but hoped to resolve their differences through dialogue rather than violence. The members of the Galactic Council, observing the unfolding events from their distant vantage points, had mixed reactions to humanity's bold stance. Some felt a flicker of respect for the humans, recognizing the bravery it took to stand up against the powerful Velar. Others scoffed at what they perceived as empty bravado. "They may have numbers, but their technology is inferior," remarked a counselor from the Relian system, a sneer etched across his face. This moment of tension was palpable, with the air thick with skepticism and disbelief. The Council had watched humanity's tumultuous history unfold, a chaotic tapestry woven from threads of conflict and resolution that seemed to echo through the ages. They had dismissed humans as erratic and overly emotional, driven by a propensity for conflict and a history marred by violence. Yet, standing together in formation, the humans were not merely reacting to the threat, they were asserting their sovereignty and signaling their readiness to be treated as equals in the galactic community. Then, something unexpected happened. The Velar, confident in their overwhelming superiority, issued a bold challenge. They demanded that humanity surrender a portion of their territory as a show of goodwill. This was no ordinary demand. It was a calculated maneuver designed to provoke fear and assert dominance, a blatant declaration of war disguised as negotiation. Lila's heart raced as she received the communication, recognizing it for what it truly was, a tactic to intimidate and belittle her people. But instead of cowering in fear, Lila stood tall, her resolve hardening. "We will not be bullied," she declared to her officers, her voice ringing with determination. "Prepare the fleet for a display of strength. We must show them that humanity is not afraid." The crew, emboldened by her confidence, set to work, their hearts racing with anticipation and adrenaline as the ships powered up, ready to demonstrate their capabilities in a way that would send shockwaves throughout the galaxy. As the Earth Defense Force prepared for the impending confrontation, the Council watched with rapt attention. For the first time, They saw humanity not as a fractured race struggling for survival but as a united force determined to stand its ground. The Earth Defense Force launched a dazzling light show, a spectacular series of maneuvers that showcased their advanced technology and the creativity of human ingenuity in space. Ships glimmered like a constellation of determination, vibrant colors streaking across the dark void of space, illuminating the scene with a breathtaking display of military precision. The Velar, taken aback by the unexpected turn of events, hesitated. They were not accustomed to facing a united front. Their prior encounters with humanity had always revealed division and fear. This show of force unsettled them, a clear deviation from their expectations of a terrified, disorganized adversary. Whispers of doubt began to spread through the ranks of the Velar, with some questioning their preconceived notions of humanity's strength. Perhaps, they mused, this was not a race to be underestimated after all. In the council chambers, the atmosphere shifted dramatically as the Velar's challenge began to backfire. An elder member of the council, his voice thoughtful and tinged with surprise, remarked, "Perhaps we misjudged them." His words resonated throughout the room, the members exchanging glances as they contemplated the unfolding situation. They began to acknowledge that humanity possessed a spirit of resilience and a sense of unity that they had not anticipated. The Velar, sensing that their aggressive posturing had not yielded the desired effect, began to retreat. Their bluster was replaced by caution, as they re-evaluated their approach to the humans. They had tested humanity's resolve and found it unyielding, and in that moment, the balance of power shifted in ways they had never imagined. Witnessing this pivotal moment, the Galactic Council began to rethink their stance on humanity. No longer were they simply viewed as a fearful species, but rather as a formidable player capable of unity and strength in the face of adversity. In the aftermath of the encounter, the Council reached out to humanity with newfound respect and curiosity. The debates that had once been marked by suspicion and doubt shifted toward collaboration and understanding. Council members invited humans to share their strategies, their technological advancements, and even aspects of their rich culture. This gesture of goodwill marked a turning point in relations, fostering an environment where cooperation could thrive. Back on Earth, Lila Vasquez stood once more at the observation deck of the United Earth Defense Force headquarters, reflecting on how far they had come. The stars no longer felt distant and unattainable. Instead, they represented allies, potential friendships, and a future where humanity could thrive among the stars. The realization that they were not alone in this vast universe began to take root, transforming the outlook of a species that had once fought for mere survival into one ready to embrace its destiny. As Lila gazed out into the cosmos, she understood that they had become part of a larger narrative, one that involved forging bonds and alliances rather than merely battling for dominance. The Galactic Council, in turn, learned a vital lesson that day: fear could be a catalyst for strength. They realized that underestimating humanity could lead to unforeseen consequences, and the cautious diplomacy that emerged from the ashes of conflict could reshape the galaxy's future. As the dust settled from the encounter, the Council recognized that perhaps humans were not inherently afraid of war. They simply understood the true cost of it. This understanding had forged a new path, a path toward peace and collaboration, one that the stars would remember for eons to come. Lila's actions had not only redefined humanity's standing in the galaxy but had also laid the groundwork for a new era, where cooperation and mutual respect could flourish amidst the vastness of space. The galaxy was no longer just a stage for conflict. It was a canvas for collaboration, innovation, and unity, where humanity would play a pivotal role in shaping its destiny. As humanity embraced its new role within the Galactic Council, a sense of hope and purpose began to radiate from Earth. The opportunity for collaboration opened doors that had previously been sealed shut, allowing for the exchange of ideas and cultures that had once been mere concepts in the minds of diplomats and leaders. The Council convened regularly, inviting human representatives to participate in discussions that would impact the course of galactic history. These sessions were charged with a mix of anticipation and skepticism, as Council members observed how the humans navigated the intricacies of interstellar politics with a blend of passion and pragmatism. Lila Vasquez and her colleagues soon found themselves at the forefront of negotiations that addressed not only the concerns of humanity but also the challenges facing the galaxy as a whole, from resource distribution to the threat of rising powers like the Velar. Amidst this newfound camaraderie, humanity began to share its rich tapestry of culture and innovation with the Council members. Human artists, musicians, and thinkers became ambassadors of creativity, bridging the gap between species through their works. An exhibition showcasing human art and music was organized in the grand halls of the Council, drawing attendees from every corner of the galaxy. As vibrant paintings and evocative melodies filled the space, council members found themselves captivated by the emotions and stories woven into each piece. They began to see humanity not just as a species marked by conflict, but as a culture steeped in depth and diversity. This cultural exchange not only fostered understanding but also cultivated friendships that transcended the boundaries of species, transforming the council into a more cohesive and collaborative body. Yet, while the winds of change blew favorably for humanity, the specter of the Velar loomed ominously in the background. Despite their initial retreat, the Velar were not defeated. They were merely regrouping and recalibrating their approach. Rumors began to circulate that they were forming alliances with other discontented factions within the galaxy, determined to regain their footing and assert their dominance once again. Lila and her team remained vigilant, understanding that the newfound unity among the Council and humanity could become a double-edged sword. The very strength that had drawn them together could also attract the ire of those who thrived on chaos and conflict. Preparing for the worst while hoping for the best, Lila initiated strategic drills and discussions focused on defense and contingency plans. The lessons learned from their initial confrontations would not be forgotten, and she knew that vigilance was key to ensuring that the fragile peace achieved was not shattered by underestimation or complacency. The stage was set for a new chapter in the Galactic saga, one that would test the resolve and unity of the newly formed alliances as they faced challenges both internal and external in their quest for peace and stability among the stars.